With the rapidly changing spheres of influence and radically evolving technology of the VR space, more and more people are becoming interested and involved with VR. This is leaving a lot of people with burning questions they want answered as they look for their very first headset or even their second or third. Because, well, VR tech isn't cheap. Even the most affordable, low-cost options out there are still not irrelevant sums of money for the average consumer or VR enthusiast, which means people more than ever want to make sure that when they spend their hard-earned money, they're going to get a product that lasts a long time and that they feel like they got their money's worth out of it. And with so many VR and XR projects and headsets in the works right now, set to release even just later this year or the following year, it leaves people wondering if they should buy now or wait. Personally, I don't think there's ever been a better time to get into VR. It's more affordable than it has ever been before, and there's finally a range of headsets to choose from that can suit almost any consumer's needs perfectly. There's a diverse array of exciting VR titles across multiple platforms and a solid and growing VR user base. But that still didn't quite answer the question, especially for one of the most expensive VR headsets available, the Valve Index. And that's the real question. Project Cambria is furiously being worked on by Meta. PSVR 2 will either come out later this year or early next year, and rumors around a new Valve headset codenamed Deckard are floating about. So should you still buy a Valve Index? Will it still be worth the money? And in short, yes. It absolutely will. Keep in mind, though technology changes rapidly and gains new features very quickly, it still takes up to a generation for a piece of technology to become well and truly obsolete. The Valve Index is still an incredible headset. It's insanely comfortable. The audio quality is mwah, chef's kiss. The microphone sounds buttery smooth and quispy. And the 1440 by 1600 LCD lenses still look amazing at 144 Hz. It's also still the only VR headset to date that has full finger tracking out of the box without the need to purchase any other accessories or software solutions. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer here, and ultimately, whatever you choose to spend your money on is of your own concern. I'm simply here to make sure that you're making the most educated decision possible for yourself. So, look at it like this. Let's say you're out shopping for cars, and you really want something that has all the bells and whistles and amenities that can be afforded by a modern vehicle. And you look around and you see some older cars, maybe you see some cars that are a couple years old, maybe some 2017 and 2018 year models. And then you see the brand new, fresh out of the factory, shiny, just rolled off the assembly line models. Well, obviously the new ones are objectively better. They look nicer, they don't have any mileage, they ride better, and their technology is upgraded. But that doesn't mean that the cars from 2017 and 2018 aren't good. They're still good cars. They still have solid warranties, and they still have all of the same amenities afforded by a relatively modern vehicle. It doesn't make it a bad vehicle, it's just not as up to date as the other ones. And for all intents and purposes, this is the Valve Index, or will be the Valve Index in the next couple of years. I know $1,000 is a lot to spend on a VR headset, but if you're looking for a premier VR experience and expect even several years of usage out of it before switching to something newer, it's not even an argument. And after that, it can still serve and function as a solid backup headset because, let's face it, the first iterations of technology always have the most problems. The Index has the benefit of a few years of troubleshooting and upgrading to fix its most common issues. So while it still definitely has some problems, they're not the same ones it was plagued with in the beginning, and they're far less serious to deal with, perhaps minor inconveniences at best. There's definitely an argument to be made about which headset you should get as your very first one, and if that's the case and what landed you at this video, well, I'll be honest, you might want to spend your money on something just a bit cheaper to make sure you even really enjoy VR or can tolerate it, as some people do get violently motion sick during play. That's a whole video for a different time, but I will say if that's the case, unless you're just really dead set on getting a Valve Index, go with something a bit more affordable for your very first headset. I can personally vouch for the Valve Index's quality and craftsmanship because I've been a user and lover of it since the very beginning of my journey into VR. It looks amazing, it sounds amazing, and it runs amazing. But there are some drawbacks to consider. First, it's PC VR only. You need at least a relatively solid gaming PC to fully take advantage of its specifications. Anything less, and you might as well be running a Rift CV1 or a Quest 2 with AirLink or a Hardwire because the specs of the Index are directly limited or taken advantage of by the strength of your PC. Second, it's wired. I know a lot of standalone VR users swear by it and despise the thought of wires inhibiting their immersion. And I completely understand. The last thing you want to be aware of while trying to escape reality is reality. And becoming uncomfortable during play because your cord gets tangled or something is mega no bueno. Fortunately, there are some really good solutions for this in pulley systems. With some clever routing of a good pulley system and some patience and $20, you can pretty much solve all your traditional issues with tethered headsets. Finally, the controllers are wet diapers. I mean, they're nice. They're really nice controllers, and they do have full finger tracking capabilities, which is so cool and really nice to have in VR, but they're also really prone to long-term wear and tear. Fortunately, I haven't had to replace any of my own yet, but the thumbsticks definitely have some significant drift after almost 1,200 hours. The click on the sticks don't always work, and if you have hands that sweat a lot like mine, you'll find the sweat winds up penetrating the cracks and causing the adhesive inside to melt out of the controller, thus creating another problem. Gloves that work well with a finger-tracked controller. Personally, I find nitrile or latex gloves work really well, though I haven't experimented with any type of cloth or leather glove either, admittedly. Oh, also, I had to tape my wire behind the headset because the clip that originally routed it behind it broke. So that's kind of a thing, but honestly, some tightly woven and layered electrical tape was a super easy fix, and I haven't had any issues with it since then. So yeah, it definitely has its problems. Much like any headset, it is still, and probably will be for a while, the premier in-home VR experience money can buy for the average consumer. It looks amazing, it runs amazing, and it sounds amazing. The warranty's solid, and the specs are still nothing to scoff at. Even after almost 1,200 hours of usage, it is holding up strong, and I still have not had any major issues with it. It's comfortable, it's sexy, and it's everything I've ever personally wanted in a headset. Even as newer, more up-to-date, and higher-spec headsets come out over the next few years, I imagine I will still find myself throwing on Unreliable every now and again because there's really just something to be said about a high quality, stable product that can perform well consistently for a long time. And that's it. That's all the time we have, ladies and gents. Thank you so much for watching, and if you've made it to this point in the video, I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Be sure to like this video if you thought it was informative, subscribe if you want to see more of it next week, hit that notification bell if you just can't stand missing out on this sweet VR content. I'm gonna go on and get out of here. I got some VR to immerse myself in. Just a reminder, I do love each and every one of you beautiful, beautiful feathermuckers. Until next time, Gramsy out.